This Rackley Roofing 200 edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by BIRDDOGS Shorts. Dominate summer with an amazing pair of shorts and a free Yeti-style tumbler when you order over at birddogs.com/pool. That's birddogs.com/pool.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'll wreck my mom to win a championship. I'll wreck your mom to win a championship.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
It refrains me from not beating the out of you right now because you ask me stupid questions. But since I'm on probation, I suppose that's improper to say as well. If you could talk about racing things, we could talk about racing things.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Music City, or the cities thereof, and in and around, play host to all three series in the NASCAR Gambit. It is, of course, the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez, still on location, but still bringing you all of your favorite content that is NASCAR. Kick it off on Friday night with the Truck Switch. Cody, every week, trucks start things off. Why is it the last one to get odds?
It does not make a lot of sense, but that seems to be most of the betting world in NASCAR at this point in time.
It just, I mean, it's the most frustrating thing in the world.
Yeah. If it doesn't make sense, let's do it that way.
Hey, but listen, we are lucky to have odds. We are happy to have odds. We definitely are not looking that gift horse in the mouth. So we get prepared for the Rackley Roofing 200 there at the Nashville Superspeedway, which we've already documented is a lie on so many fronts. It is not a superspeedway, and it is not in Nashville. It is, in fact, in Lebanon, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, which in and of its own right is beautiful. Both areas, that whole area out there. If I said long time ago that if I were to ever move away from California, it would be to that general area. It's so gorgeous out there.
Yeah, it is a beautiful city. Yeah, I mean, that seems like that's been one of the fastest growing cities and everything. People love flocking there. I've been there. It's a fun time. So, and yeah, this track seems like a great place. Seems like a good party. The last couple of years they've been in Nashville. It's been a huge success. So glad to see NASCAR going back there again.
I will tell you, though, you do need to be a fan, and I'm telling you, you do need to be a fan of country music if you want to be in the Nashville area, because literally cannot throw a rock without hitting an aspiring country music artist or an established country music artist. So,
yep.
And bring some rocks, because, you know, you're going to need them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think every single person in the city is either aspiring to be or already is some type of country music singer. But it's a great city for music, for food, entertainment, the whole gambit. It's a great place. And then, yeah, throw some NASCAR racing on top of it. How much better can it get?
The answer, not much better. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, and so we talked about it too, as the fact that the Cup Series has only been here a couple of times. Xfinity was here for a while and then kind of went away and came back again. Same can kind of be said for the trucks. They were back here in 2021 and 2022. Ryan Preece won both of those. Ryan Preece cannot win this race this week because he is not in it. So got to take that out of the mix. But they hadn't been there in 10 years. So 2011 was the last time they took the track. Austin Dillon won that one. Kyle Busch won before there. Todd Bodine, a little throwback there. Kyle Busch, Ron Hornaday, Johnny Benson, Travis Kvapil, Johnny Benson again. Bobby Hamilton, Carl Edwards, Mike Bliss, Scott Riggs, among the winners on this track in the truck race. Some throwback names there, Cody.
That is some throwback names. Yeah, that's man, what a list there, right? Some some Hall of Famers, some future Hall of Famers. Get the Todd Bodine, the Onion reference in there. You mentioned Quapple. His kid is racing for Dale Jr. now, up and comer in the late model tour and everything. Carson Quapple. Man, what a list.
What a list. 15 races in total on this for the Truck Series. Obviously, like I said, they hadn't been back in 10 years, but they have for the last 2. So this is still a relatively new track to a lot of these guys, especially we talked about it, the Xfinity guys. Like, honestly, the names that were on the list before the last couple of years, you really can't draw from it. Kind of the same with this. Obviously, we're going to be taking the 2 races that they had here into account and almost not much more. Kind of what they've done this season is all you can do to sort of handicap the trucks on this track. But still good racing to be had on this one. This Rackley Roofing 200, 150 laps around this 1.333 mile paved track for a tidy 199.950 miles in this race. So again, a lot of laps still in this truck race, but a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a good time.
So, as we get set for this, obviously, we don't have a ton of bets. As far as the odds are concerned, there's the normal top 3s, top 5s, and not as many head-to-heads as I'd like, honestly, to be honest with you, Cody.
It's man, it continues to disappoint me week in and week out. The Truck Series just doesn't get the love that it should. There should be way more matchups. There should be top 10 odds. So many more things that we need for the Truck Series. One of the most, they're all 3 fun to bet on, right? But Friday night or Saturday morning, either one, like it's the lead off into the weekend, gives us a chance to build up our bankroll for Sunday. And the options every week are just kind of blah. But yeah, despite that, we found some good stuff like we usually do. And I'm excited to place some of these bets.
I'm excited to place these bets as well, but I'm also excited to throw on my bird dogs this summer. I'm telling you right now, I am way ready for the real summer weather to hit. We're still getting toyed around with in California. It's been like 70 degrees, like 75 degrees over the last week. So, they're already teasing me, but maybe they know that I don't have my bird dogs yet and that I'm waiting for them, and the weather will hit to where those bird dogs will come in handy. Bird dogs, they stretch like khaki shorts and designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and the leg, giving you a truly sculpted look, turning heads everywhere you go. Bird dogs do the exact same thing that Lululemon does, but they fit way better. They also fit better than those regular shorts that you got that are stiff, restricting cotton shorts that you're like, every time you go out, they're just like, they don't fit right. They don't feel right. Bird dogs, not going to do that for you. Why? They fixed the issue of that by inventing cloud knit fabric that looks just like khaki, but it stretches. So you get a way slimmer fit without having to sacrifice on movement. Not to mention, Bird Dogs uses anti-stink sweat wicking fabric. It's going to give you and keep you cool and dry all day long. We all need that for sure. When we're out in those warm climates, it's not fun to sweat through your shorts. So get some Bird Dogs right now. Eliminate that problem. Go to birddogs.com/pool. Enter promo code POOL for a free Yeti style tumbler with your order. It's birddogs.com/pool for a free Yeti style tumbler. You won't want to take off your Bird Dogs. We absolutely positively promise you. All right. So I'm wondering if you can actually get Bird Dogs in the Cup car. That'd be fun, right? Have some anti-sweat wicking stuff in that, and maybe underneath the fire suit. I don't know. Would that work?
Underneath the fire suit, you are required to wear the fireproof underwear now, so gonna have those inside. I don't know. It might be tough. Dale, just to go off on a little sidecar here. Dale Jr. was telling a story on the Dale Jr. download this week about the time that Dale Earnhardt Sr. wore a Faith Hill t-shirt underneath of his fire suit after he met her at the race. And I think she did the national anthem or something. He said he was a big Faith Hill fan. I thought that was a pretty interesting picturing, Dale Sr. in a Faith Hill shirt.
And it's kind of cool because, you think about it. And when you meet like these artists backstage at these events, it's always kind of surreal. There was a time where our band played, and now I'm getting off on tangent, but our band played for the president of the United States when HW came through our post, and they had pretty much a gigantic country concert beforehand. They had Shadazy around, a couple of other groups, and Sarah Evans was up there, and she sang. And we were allowed, because we played for them. I'm in the military band. We played for them, and we were able to stay backstage. So Sarah Evans is walking around, and we're walking around, and we turn the corner, and there's Sarah Evans standing right there, and we're like, oh, hey, Sarah Evans. And so we, turn around, start walking with her, and we're like, is there anything you didn't get to sing? And she's like, because she was on before the president showed up, so her set got cut short. She's like, I was gonna sing Joan Jett's "I Love Rock and Roll." And we were like, looked at each other like, well, why don't we all sing it together? So we're walking down, backstage singing "I Love Rock and Roll" with Sarah Evans. It's kind of cool. It's no Faith Hill shirt, but it's kind of fun.
It's pretty sweet though. That's pretty awesome. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun to do those things, but I digress. There's so many fun things to do on a NASCAR track as well, and I'm sure these drivers, anytime they get to meet anybody that they're big fans of, I'm sure it kind of strikes them the same way, which is funny to think though, right? Because we look at them kind of the way they look at the other stars. It's weird, right. Celebrity.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, and that was part of all Dale's whole thing was he was talking about, I can't remember, some country singer that he got to meet, and the guy, was standing outside his motorhome with his guitar and singing to Junior and everything. And yeah, pretty cool story. But yeah, I mean, these guys are celebrities in their own right, of course, but then they get to meet celebrities, and pretty cool thing.
Well, especially in the truck series, because a lot of these guys are kids themselves, like literally just coming up and not really all that old, and probably still in awe of celebrity. All right. So they're going to meet a lot of them too in Nashville. This is another one of those high profile races, like LA, like, all the big cities that they go to. Nashville's full of stars, and they're all going to be out to play out there, like Sonoma. Sonoma always brings the stars in as well.
Yep. Yeah, you'll likely see, I would imagine the TV coverage will have, video of all kinds of stars there. As obviously, Nashville, huge scene for the whole country music thing, and a lot of tie-ins with NASCAR there.
Lots of tie-ins with NASCAR. You know what, Cody? I feel like I'm ready to get to some bets. I think we need to get to some bets, because I feel like this race is funny because there's not a lot of news to break down right now, and so it's just like,
well, we were just talking about before. Like, is there any Truck Series news? And you're kind of looking around. It's like the trucks haven't raced in 3 weeks. They've just been off. Like, there hasn't been much to talk about. Not really any news as far as it goes around for them. So it's kind of like, there's not much going on. We got bets to jump into.
Yeah, I mean, and that's true. They have been off on a 3-week hiatus. That feels like forever. That's like waiting for the next F1 race.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's. Yeah, it's like the big breaks that F1 takes, and it's been a minute since we've had the trucks out there. So excited for all 3 series to be back in action this weekend finally, and especially after no NASCAR or anything last week. Right, there was an ARCA race, but hard to. Some people find random odds in random places, but hard to bet on that race, unfortunately, at this point. But yeah, glad it's all back.
Me too. All right, if you keep hearing this music cue up, it's because my fingers keep hitting the button. I'm literally not in my normal spot, so I don't know what the hell's going on. My fingers are doing weird things. For those of you also watching on YouTube, you've seen us in the same clothes for 3 days. That's the way we roll. We're getting ready. Cody's getting ready to go on vacation, so he's ready to wear anything and everything all until he gets there. That's the last of his clean clothes before he's got to leave. All right. I'm going to talk to you now about Underdog Fantasy because it's important. Underdog Fantasy is why we're here right now. It's why we're able to continue to give you free content. They're offering their Best Ball Mania 4 contest right now. They're giving away $15 million in prizes. Underdog Pick'em is also a great way to get down on your favorite MLB and college baseball player props. So many ways to win over on Underdog, and it's active in so many states. We still need NASCAR Underdog. Let's get on that. Head over to UnderdogFantasy.com right now. Use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. I actually like that music better than the music I was using beforehand. I think I may stick with that. That's a good one. Let us know in the Discord. Do you like that one better than the other one that we're using? We'll stick with it.
There you go. See, that's you being remote, having to play with different things. maybe it changed the whole show from here on out.
Stumble on something we like. Speaking of stumbling on something we like, let's get to some bets, Cody. Let's just get to some bets today.
I'm ready to dive in. Let's go. Like
Get
you
it.
said, I'm about to go on vacation here, so this is my last hour of work for the week, right? Although this isn't really work. Technically, it sort of is, but it's
What do they
more
say?
fun.
Do what you love, and you will never work a day in your life.
Exactly. Yeah. I wish I didn't. Well, never mind. I guess I shouldn't say that, but this doesn't feel like work for sure.
Nobody from your other job listens to this show, so you're fine.
Maybe.
I'm just
One of my
kidding.
bosses, I think he listens sometimes. I don't know if he listens to all of them. I'll probably find out after this episode. So we'll
Like,
see.
Cody,
This is the test for him, right?
we need to see you tomorrow, Cody. It's like, boss, I'm on vacation tomorrow.
I think
Cody.
he feels the same way, so it's okay.
All right, what do we got
Anyways,
first?
All right, let's get into the bets before I get myself in trouble. First up for me, a guy I talked about yesterday / earlier today / you figure out when it was, Carson Hocevar. He's going to be racing the Xfinity race, but also in the Truck Series. Love me some Carson Hocevar this weekend. He has been good at this track. He's been good at this style of track. I'm going to take him over Grant Enfinger, -110 over on Superbook. I know Enfinger's been your guy lately. I know we've seen him have some really good races, but I expect a big race from Hocevar this week. He finished third here last season in this race. He's got 4 straight top 5 finishes. Finished 4th at Worldwide Technologies in the last race out. Again, a pretty comparable track to this one. Grant Enfinger, 32nd last season at this race. He was 3rd in 2021, so I will give him that. But in the last 4 races, Carson Hocevar has won the head-to-head 3 out of those 4 races. I'm really feeling Carson Hocevar this week. Love this kid. He's picking up steam. He loves this style of track. Give me Carson Hocevar over Grant Enfinger, -110 on Superbook.
Well, I mean, we talked about Carson Hocevar as far as you just want him to do fantastic things. You definitely are cheering for him. And it would not hurt my feelings at all if Christian Eckes actually came out. If Carson Hocevar came out and did fantastic things this week. So definitely I'll take you on that one.
I don't think it would hurt your heart if Eckes came out and did fantastic things either.
Well, and I'll tell you exactly why, because I have Eckes in my next bet, which is exactly why I'm sitting here saying Eckes' name over and over again. I'm going to take Christian Eckes over Ty Majeski, and this one's a tough one to do. Eckes over Majeski on Superbook is -110. We know that Ty Majeski is good, and we know that Ty Majeski can be one of the top trucks in the series, like week in and week out. It's not even a question of it. But for Christian Eckes, in my mind, he just has the better end of it this season. He's got 2 wins already, right? In his series. Just finished 2nd at Gateway the last time he was on the track, 6th at Charlotte on this track. He's only been on this once, but he turned a 13th place start into a 6th place finish on this track. So again, he can get it done. We know that he's one of the better drivers in this series. So again, it's for Majeski. I don't know what it is. What did we talk about with Sheldon Creed too in the other series? That's one of those drivers that he's so good and he's always so good, but that bad luck bug can jump up and grab him so often. No wins on the season for Ty Majeski. He does have 6 top 5 finishes and 8 top 10 finishes. But look, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about inconsistency in finishes, especially this season, right? He started on the pole at Gateway. It was so promising. Ended up 30th in that. He didn't even finish. He crashed out of that race. Bad luck bit him on that. But he turned around the 2 races before that. Runner up at North Wilkesboro. Yay, right? 7th place at Charlotte. Cool. But before that, 31st at Darlington, 25th at Kansas. And this is all after a great start for Ty Majeski. You're definitely encouraged by his start to the season, but then just started to fall on some hard times. And it's tough because when you have bad races, 2 out of 3, and then you take a 3-week just a hiatus, like you're sitting on some pretty bad finishes over the last couple of races. And I don't know, as a team, you could try to pull it together and it'd be fantastic, but I don't know. Ty Majeski on this track, though, not bad too. Honestly, an 8th place finish and a 4th place finish. But we talk a lot about momentum on this show. We talk about a lot about what it is to finish well recently. And for Ty Majeski, I just feel like the down weeks have been worse than the good weeks for him. Whereas Christian Eckes, been riding a pretty solid last 4 races. He won Darlington, 25th at North Wilkesboro. Okay. But he had a bad day then. 6th at Charlotte, 2nd at Gateway. So, like I said, Eckes is actually on the better end of a good momentum streak, whereas Ty Majeski, not so much. So I'll take Eckes over Majeski at -110 over on Superbook.
Yeah, these are 2 guys that have super fast trucks every week. But with Majeski, you're always just waiting for that other shoe to drop. Like he could be cashing this bet 90, or he could be on the winning side of this head-to-head 90% of the race. It's that last 10% of how's he going to mess it up? What mistake is he going to make? We saw it last year in the championship race. We've continued to see it from him this season time and time again. Once he gets it figured out, watch out because he's fast every single week. But the results are a little inconsistent. So I do like the Eckes side. Obviously, that 19 truck has been a rocket ship this year. He has had a lot of speed. So I like that one. I am going to take our favorite Canadian driver, Stuart Friesen, over Nick Sanchez, -110 over on Barstool. Friesen in the 2 races since they've returned here, 2021, 2022, 5th place both times. Nice, solid finishes for him. He's got 3 top 4 finishes in the last 5 races. Finished 3rd last race out at Worldwide Technologies. Again, a pretty comparable track to this one. Sanchez did finish 8th in that race, so not bad at all. Hasn't raced here at Nashville yet, so I think that's a column, or negative column for him. But in 4 of the last 5 races, Stuart Friesen has won this head-to-head. Again, 2 races back here, 2 5th-place finishes from Friesen. I expect a very similar result from him again. I know Sanchez has had a somewhat impressive season. Results haven't always been there, though. So give me the Friesen side of this. Friesen over Sanchez, -110 over on Superbook.
You'll never, ever hear me complain about a Stuart Friesen bet. Although I will tell you, Cody, thanks for taking all of the juicy head-to-heads, man. I swear to God, I got in this doc late, and I was doing all my research, and I was looking around, and I'm like, okay, I got this bet. And then I go in the doc, sure as shit, guess what? There's Cody with all of the bets that I was going to place. So,
for as many bad things as we did say about the selections, there was like these 3 head-to-heads that I found, like they were very easy decisions for me. Like I like all 3 of these head-to-heads a lot. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like I literally was like, oh yeah, okay. And then I went in to go write it down. I was like, damn, come on, man. So there it was. It's all right. It's all right.
You should have taken one of those instead of your next one, but that's all right.
No, you don't like this one
now and then.
No, you don't like this one because it's Zane Smith over your boy Corey Heim. -110 on Superbook for the Zane Smith side of this. It's Zane Smith, man. I'm gonna make a much better case for him later on in this, but I'm just gonna tell you right now that Zane Smith has been a man on a mission. I love Zane Smith. I will continue to bang the drum for Zane Smith. 2 wins on the season already. 5 top 5s, 5 top 10s. We're 12 races in, and the guy just continues to be one of the more dominant drivers in this series, and just basically tears it up. So I like that. Like I said, I'll tell you more about Zane Smith in a little bit, but I'm going to make my case more on the anti-Corey Heim train, and not to say that Corey Heim won't even have a good finish. Like I'm not even saying that Corey Heim won't even be the runner-up in this race, right? There's no Cup Series guys in this, so very much have the possibility of having Corey Heim as a runner-up to Zane Smith in this race. Last year in Nashville, he started 4th. Corey Heim finished 44th. He finished 33rd.
That's impressive. He finished 44th.
he let 10 cars that weren't even on the track pass him. No, he finished 33rd in this race. In a KBM truck, he crashed out. Unfortunately, bad luck for Corey Heim in that. Now, listen, Cody's going to make a case in a little bit. He's got Heim, spoiler alert, in a bet. So he'll tell you all of the glorious things about Corey Heim. But I will tell you that even with all of the top 10 finishes, even with all of the second place finishes that Corey Heim has, it doesn't matter if Zane Smith can come in first. And if I am predicting, spoiler alert, that Zane Smith will win the race, it's very difficult for somebody to finish better than first in this race. So Corey Heim on the losing end of this Zane Smith bet at -110 on Superbook.
Zane Smith still 19 points behind Corey Heim, despite the fact that Corey Heim missed the last race. Just a little fun fact of the day for you.
You've got your chance to do it later, Cody.
Yes, I will be talking plenty about Heim here in a minute, so we'll move on. But I do disagree with Rod on that bet. For if you're keeping track at home. Next up for me, I feel gross doing this. I hate to do it. That's when you know they're good bets. When I hate to do them, when I still make them. Give me Matty D over Chase Purdy, -120 over on Caesars. Matty D has been he's been hot lately, right? I had the bet with Derek. Shout out to Derek. Props to Derek. He got me on that one a few weeks ago with Matty D. But I mean, man, that's kind of been what's turned my head on Matty D. I've tried to bet against him a couple times, and man, he's been impressive week after week. So now you're matching him up with Purdy here, and you go back and you look at 7 of the last 8 races, and Matt DiBenedetto's won this head-to-head matchup. So that alone right there, it's like, okay, and the one time he didn't was the last race at Worldwide Technologies, a comparable track, where Purdy finishes 5th and Matt DiBenedetto 6th. So they're right back-to-back. And then in the other 7 previous races, DiBenedetto came out on top. So I'm not really sure why this is a matchup other than they were finished close last week. Whoop-de-doo. Give me a Matt DiBenedetto hitting 7 out of the last 8. And the one he doesn't, he's only 1 spot behind the guy. He should at least be close to him. Expect him to be better. DiBenedetto, one of those guys that you're kind of waiting for the mistake to happen because a lot of times it does, but he's kind of cleaned up his act a little bit lately. We talked about this with the Ally car for Sunday's race, right? The Ally 400. This is the Rackley Roofing 200 or whatever it is. He drives the Rackley Roofing truck. Some correlation there. So we'll lean into it. Go with Matty D over Chase Purdy, -120 over on Caesars.
Well, I had that circled as well, and I went to the doc, and it was taken. So I'll make a further case for Matty D in a little while. But you're right. I mean, and it is not lost on me too that the Rackley logo is going to be on that car, and the Rackley logo is permanently or prominently featured in this race as well. So definitely, I back you on this one. Yeah, you're right. I mean, for Chase Purdy, it's not that he can't get it done. It's just when. And for Matt DiBenedetto, it's like, where did you come from, buddy? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Matt DiBenedetto? All right. So my next bet is I'm going to take Grant Enfinger. We're going to talk about hot race car drivers. He is definitely one of the hot race truck drivers in this series so far. I'm going to take Grant Enfinger as a top 3 truck. This one, it's difficult. I get it. It's at +225, but I liked his top 3 odds. Looking around, his top 5 odds were not necessarily as sexy as this top 3 at +225. But for Grant Enfinger, look, he's coming off of a win at Gateway. We talked about that being comparable track. It's comparable in length, maybe not necessarily the track style, but as far as length is concerned, just won at Gateway. He's won at Kansas already this season too. The guy has been just one of the better trucks, like 2 top 5 finishes in his last 2 races with that win, a couple of top 10s in the mix as well. He's just been hanging around, and he's been quietly one of the better drivers. You kind of forget about Grant Enfinger, right? I don't know what it is about the 23 truck, but it's not as glamorous as, the KBMs or Zane Smith, or, you can make an argument for any of those guys that those are more sexy names, but Grant Enfinger's just been quietly getting it done. And when he's hot, he's hot. So I like his odds here. I like it for a +3 on this track. He's had a 3rd place finish in the 98 truck. And then the last time he took this, started 7th, finished 32nd. Unfortunately, he crashed out of that race as well. But again, it's Grant Enfinger. You can turn it around in a season and be fine. I think, like I said, for him, it's a matter of, can he get back up there? And I think he can.
Yeah, as long as Carson Hocevar finishes ahead of him, I'm fine with it.
All good, right?
There we go. But yeah, I mean, he has been very good this season. Obviously, impressive with his multiple wins. And he's had a fast truck a lot of weeks, so hard to count Grant Enfinger out ever. I'm gonna go back to the Hocevar. Well, give me Hocevar for a top 5 plus 110. Obviously, I already talked about him. Already talked up the numbers, but third place here last season. It's well within the top 5. And again, he's got 4 straight top 5 finishes, including that 4th place at Worldwide Technologies for the last race. Carson Hocevar, top 5 plus 110. Again, I don't think we mentioned at the top of the show like we probably should have. Triple Truck Challenge. No Cup Series guys in this one. Obviously, there's no Cup Series guys to take away the top 5 finishing positions. Helps Hocevar's case. Very good at this track. Very good at this style of track. Going to continue to push my chips in on Hocevar. Top 5 at plus money, I think is really a steal. I was actually pretty shocked that it was still at plus money for him, and I thought that this would be, more of a minus 120, minus 130 type of proposition. So at plus 110 over on Caesars, I will take the top 5 for Carson Hocevar.
At what point is he going to pop? Like I'm waiting for that day for him to just take that next jump, that Ty Gibbs-esque jump. You know what I'm saying?
Got 4 straight top 5 finishes. He's got that win finally in the bag.
Is it now?
It might start coming. Might start this week. Might talk about him again in a minute.
Are we getting to the point where it's going to be the coronation of Carson Hocevar?
The Truck Series race on Friday and the Xfinity Series race on Sunday. Am I allowed to parlay those somewhere? I'll be back. You can.
I was about to say you better see, because I want.
I'm gonna go do some research here.
That's gonna be a fun little parlay if you do. All right, fine. While you build your parlay, I will give you my next bet. We're gonna build more on the Matt DiBenedetto case. As far as I don't know, man. This is kind of funky, and I saw it, and I almost didn't do it, but I thought, you know what? Let's get froggy. Matt DiBenedetto, top 5 car at 5-1. Top 5 odds are almost as pukey as top 3 odds in this. So to find Matt DiBenedetto as a top 5 at plus 500, I thought was probably intriguing enough to go ahead and take it. You're not basing it off of his last outing in Nashville at all. 31st place finish in that 25 truck. I mean, it was a Rackley Roofing truck, but unfortunately, Matt DiBenedetto was not the Matt DiBenedetto that we've seen over the last 3 weeks last season. So Cody talked about the fact that he's actually been pretty decent over the last 3 weeks. He has. North Wilkesboro, he finished 3rd. Charlotte, he finished 8th. Gateway, he finished 6th. Are any of those top 5s? No. Oh, like the North Wilkesboro one it was a 3rd place, but Charlotte and Gateway were not top 5s, but pretty damn close. Like literally very close to a top 5 finish. And at plus 500, I like the odds for him to be able to bust through a couple of spaces and grab that top 5. It's going to be tough. I'm telling you, with the Heims of the worlds, with the Smiths of the worlds, with the Enfingers of the world, Hocevar, right? There's already 4. So as long as he finishes somewhere in that mix with those guys, and below Grant Enfinger, like I said, at plus 500, with the way Matt DiBenedetto has been surprising us lately, it'd be a nice surprise if he did it again. And I wouldn't hate him for it.
Again, as much as I, for whatever reason, don't like betting on DiBenedetto, this is really good value, I think, at 5-1 with, again, as well as he's been doing here lately. I think he could do it. You've got the sponsor tie-in thing we talked about. This is when I saw you put this one in here, I can't help but actually really like this one a lot. So I think you're getting really good value. W for you there, Rod. Research complete. Hocevar to win the Truck and Xfinity Series race parlayed together, plus 22,000. Throw $10 on that. That'll pay you $2,210.
Let's go.
I'm so glad I'm gonna be at a legal betting state. Imagine, Nebraska, if we could just log into our phones and place these types of bets every week.
California.
Imagine the tax money you could bring in. Imagine the joy you could bring to people's hearts and souls.
And we're bigger
Get your
than Nebraska,
shit
California.
together.
Let's go. Both
Jesus,
of us.
Fucking figure your shit out. Anyways. So yes. So place that. I'm going to throw that in there as an official play. I will be placing that bet this weekend as well. Next up for me, my boy, I'm going to have more bets on him. Corey Heim. I'm not sure there's anybody I like betting on more right now than Corey Heim. Top 3 at plus money, Rod. Very similar to the Xfinity Series bet. John Hernimacek, plus money for a top 3 finish. You're giving me the best driver in the best truck. Okay, maybe that's Zane Smith, but I don't think it's as far of a runaway as it used to be. I think Corey Heim is right there neck and neck with him. As I mentioned, the points leader, despite missing the last race at Worldwide Technologies due to his illness, still holds on to the points lead as it stands. Plus money for a top 3 finish. Are you kidding me? Again, this is a gift. Obviously, he did miss that race, like I talked about, but second place at Charlotte the week before, 6th at North Wilkesboro, 8th at Darlington, 2nd at Kansas, 1 at Martinsville. So far this season, if you throw out the super speedways and the dirt race at Bristol, 8th place at Darlington is Corey Heim's worst finish this entire season. That includes road courses. That includes every other oval on the circuit. 8th place is the worst he's finished. You want to talk about consistency. You want to talk about a guy that's going to bring it every single week for you. Corey Heim is that guy. I'm going to continue to beat the drum for him. Top 3 finish at plus money. That's like taking candy from a baby, and I'm going to take that candy.
I love it. What kind of candy? Good candy?
That's any kind. Is there bad candy?
It's
well, there is bad candy.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't know. Some of that.
Most candy is good, but yeah, there is some bad candy.
What's that? What's that really tough caramel one that you can't really bite through, and it's
yeah.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about.
I don't
remember the name.
Yeah,
it's gross.
Anyways, yeah.
Don't take that candy from a baby. You could leave that one with the baby. They can't eat it anyway. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, they're not gonna get very far with it. So
why has today been so damn long? All right. Now
this is only our 3rd episode of the night round. Don't tell anybody though.
We've digressed into candy talk. All right.
I'm currently on vacation, probably chilling at the lake. So
vacation mode right now.
We're riding a roller coaster. One of the two.
All right. My next bet is surprise, surprise. Tell me if you heard this one again. Another winning car bet this week. Listen, you guys have been so patient with us in all of life. So I love that you don't care that I'm giving you another winning car bet until the next review goes. All Rod does is give out winning car number bets. It's so awful. So I'm waiting for that review.
It's awful to cash bets every week. It's a horrible thing.
Well, some people just don't like nice, warm, and cozy, comfy things like winning car number bets. So, but for those of you who do, I think I've got this one for you. This one's the winning car over 24.5 at -115 over on Caesars. 24.5 is not really going to give you a huge range as far as what you think it is. But it does give you the guy I think is going to win. And I'll give him lately. It gives you Zane Smith. It gives you even Matt DiBenedetto if you really want to get froggy and jump there. But it gives you Carson Hocevar. It gives you Stuart Friesen, who's proven that he can run up front and very well could actually sneak out and win a race. It gives you Matt Crafton, who couldn't remember how to run. I wanted to throw a Crafton bet out there, but I just couldn't find a good one that I liked. But I mean, the dude's been a champion. Like, how can you really count him out? And then of course it gives you Ty Majeski if that accidentally happens and he wins a race on accident. And then it gives you Ben Rhodes, who also can win a race on accident. So there's a lot of good heavy hitters on the other side of that 24 line that I think this one gives you enough coverage on. Because you look at some of the guys underneath it, right? Both of the KBM guys, right? Sanchez and Purdy, not so much. They haven't won anything. It gives you Eckes right underneath, Enfinger underneath, but that's about it. Like after that,
Corey Heim, excuse me.
But yeah, anyway, so I just
Rod.
24.5 is a good number, and I think the over on that one hits at -115.
No, yeah, I think other than a guy like Heim obviously being the glaring one, in my opinion, and maybe even Eckes too, you're getting a lot of the heavy hitters hitting over that number. So I do think it's a good call. And again, you know your number bets.
I don't know what it is, man.
Rod,
I mean,
Rod
some people
specializes in these number bets.
some people
He's-
have their
he's-
wheelhouses, and that's
You
mine.
found your niche, right?
And matter of fact, that's all I'm going to do. I'm just Cody's going to give you all, Corey and Cody, man. Stop making Corey Heim bets.
Where are we going here?
Stop making Corey Heim bets because I keep saying
Corey
Corey.
Heim, Corey LaJoy. He's going to make his appearance on YouTube.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So Cody's going to give you all the other bets. I'm just going to give you a number bet. So, all right.
Wait, we go back to yesterday's episode. Rod had all JRM bets. Next week, he's going to find a way to work in all numbers. It's going to be, odd or even, an over under, a number range. Watch out.
It's happening, guys. It's happening. One of these weeks, I'm just going to throw all hell out and just be like, all right, here we go. Get ready for numbers.
I like it.
Speaking of numbers, our numbers continue to grow on YouTube, and we are extremely happy for that. We're extremely happy for you and everyone that supports what we do over there on YouTube, because the Google overlords love when you pay attention to YouTube channels. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but this show is always helped by you commenting, by you putting the thumbs up on these videos, by you subscribing, clicking that little notification bell that says we're live or we just put another video out or whatever it may be. Like I said, the Google overlords love it. The bosses love it in turn, and they love it by sending you guys more content for free. So continue to do all that stuff because we love it. Everybody else loves it. I'm not going to tell you who else loves it. You'll figure that one out. But yeah, continue to do all that stuff that we do.
It's grandma's.
God blessed. One of these days, man, that next reviewer, they talk about grandmas too much. But yes, continue to help us and support grow our YouTube channel. We'll love you forever. I'm telling you, man, it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
I am lucky, Cody, and you are lucky that we have built such a solid listener base that, just the outliers that don't like our inside jokes, they're not going to like it. And that's not for them. I don't care. But the ones that stick around for them, I gotta tell you how much we love you for that.
It's true. It's true.
We amuse ourselves, and really that's all that matters in the end, right?
That's pretty much. Yep.
All right. Well, Cody, who's got to win this race? I'm already seeing you, hover over in the dock. Who's going to win this race and the big one that you got for us?
Well, I'll highlight it for you, Rod, because I don't think you've seen yet. But Corey Heim obviously is going to win this race, plus 450. Again, why are we getting the best car in the field, best driver in the field, at plus 450? It's great. I'll take it. No Cup guys to steal this win from him. Corey Heim driving to victory lane in Nashville this weekend. He's going to have the guitar, plus 450. It's really the only bet you probably need to place, but you know me. I love my insurance bets. Give me Carson Hocevar, 8-1. Again, big on the Hocevar train. Make sure you parlay. Get that parlay in there to win the Xfinity and the trucks, plus 22,000. You can't pass up on that. Got to throw a little pizza bet on that one. And Stuart Friesen, too, 12-1. Talked about him in the bet over Sanchez a little bit ago. But 2 fifth-place finishes at this track. One of those guys that can sneak up and grab those wins. I looked a little farther down the board. Not really anybody else I liked as far as long shots. So I think Friesen's as far as I want to go. But I feel like with these three guys, got a pretty solid lineup. I go pretty decently in on Heim. Again, you know how much I love Heim. If you listen to this show every week, love betting on the guy. He's so freaking good. He's going to be good again this weekend. I expect him to have a great race. Expect him to win this race. And then I feel like Hocevar and Friesen are pretty good insurance bets just in case.
Well, I mean, you talked about long shots, and look, this season, it hasn't necessarily been a long shot season, right? You've had Smith win, Busch win, Eckes, Smith, Hocevar, Logano, Heim, Enfinger, Eckes, Larson, Rhodes, Enfinger. None of those have really come from a very long shot. So it's just a matter of how comfortable are you, like you said, going down the board and trying to find somebody who you think could steal their way into a win. And I'm not comfortable going down past probably Stuart Friesen on that list. And if Friesen hits, that also hits our winning number bet too. So I'm just saying, I like that too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Friesen or Hocevar. And if Heim hits, then you're not going to care about the winning number bet because, you got it anyway. So it's good all around.
Yep.
And that's especially like if you're going to bet on a guy like Heim, that's when you take the winning car number over 24.5 as well, because you're sort of hedging, right? Because you look underneath that number, and Heim and Eckes really are the two main ones. Finger you could toss in there, I suppose, as well. But Heim is your biggest liability for under that number. So if you've got him on the one side, then you're covered with all the other favorites like a Zane Smith, all these other guys above that. You toss in the Ben Rhodes in there and stuff as well. And I think that's definitely the way to do that.
Well, and with Enfinger too, that's the thing. Like, I know I have him as a top 3 truck. I wanted to take him as a win. I really did, because I think he was at plus 800 when I looked at it last. Don't quote me on that one, but I believe I found him at 8-1, and I thought, man, that is very, very intriguing. I thought maybe taking him at 8-1 sounded like a good idea, but then I was like, no, because it's difficult to win back-to-back weeks, and it's probably best that I just say he's going to be a top 3 car and kind of leave it at that. So is he still at 8-1, Cody?
Yeah, I'm seeing 8-1 over here on Superbook.
Okay, that's what I got. On
honorable
Caesars as well.
mention, Tanner Gray, 80-1.
Oof.
I mean, oh wait, Tanner's not the one I like. It's Taylor.
You like Taylor better.
Yeah, he's only.
I was like, dang,
30-1,
if you're going to
but-
take Tanner, you're
yeah,
really deep.
don't bet on Tanner, man. That's not. Never mind. Just forget I said anything.
All right. Well, my winner then is Zane Smith. And surprise, surprise. And I'm going to do this, Cody. I'm going to turn your words against you. You're going to give me the best truck in the best equipment on the track at 4.5
Rod
to
switching
1.
his pick to Corey Heim. Weird.
No, no, it's Zane Smith, man, at 450, plus 450 for Zane Smith. Listen, Zane Smith, like I said, has been one of those drivers that you can count on. Obviously ripped it off with 2 wins in 4 races to start the season. Has it been good for him all season long? It's been absolutely good for him all season long, as far as just being able to be a fast truck. He has run into 4 bad finishes in a row, unfortunately, which is kind of what the downfall of it is. But it's only so long you can keep a Zane Smith down, right? I mean, he ripped off a bunch of good finishes to start the season and then really fell on some hard times. So it's tough. I know you want to say that Zane Smith is been on a bad streak, which he has, and that's fine. But on this track, a 4th place finish and a 2nd place finish. So Zane Smith can get around this track. I think he's due. I think he's long overdue for a good finish. They have had 3 weeks off. A championship truck with 3 weeks off to fix all the stuff that's been going wrong. They're not going to come back out and sleep on it. I think they're coming back out swinging. I think this is where Zane Smith reasserts himself. I know that the price is lower than you probably want it to be for a guy that's had like 20th place and worse finishes over the last few races, but it is Zane Smith. There's a reason why he's still at plus 450, still one of the favorites to win this race, regardless of what happened over the last 4 weeks. I think it's a trap that they're setting for you to take him, but I think this is a trap that could very well pay off for you when he does come back out swinging on this track and wins this race.
Yeah, again, as much as I love Corey Heim, as great as he's been this season, I still think that Zane Smith is the most talented guy in the field at this point and in the best truck as well. And so it's hard to argue against him. Momentum definitely not on his side. Like you said, it's been a rough patch for him. Would I be surprised if he gets turned around here? Absolutely not. If you're going to bet on him, I think to win is probably the best way, because it seems that at least as of late, he's either going to get you a win or he's going to have a bad day. Kind of the Kyle Larson effect, I guess, right? So, in my opinion, maybe a little harder to take him in the head-to-heads, because you probably just take him to win, I guess, at that point. Otherwise, it seems like he finds some trouble. But hard to argue against him, of course, just because of how good he is. We know what he can do, but been a bit of a rough patch lately. I think my guy Corey Heim's got him this weekend, but about to find out.
I'm ready. Let's get the gloves out. Let's do this. This will be one where I'm going to be texting him a really smiley face emoji with like all the gifts I can find of laughing.
Might have to break out the Derek and Phil Venmo bet here if we really want to go head to head.
or I can Venmo you and then you can place this bet and we can be all good. And then
there you go.
All right. Well, before we get in trouble for illegally doing things,
Yes. That was all just for show or whatever.
Yeah, it was all. There's nothing going on. Nothing to see here. Move along. All right, get out your pen and paper. We're going to give you our bets from this Rackley Roof 250 or 200 rather. Rackley Roof 200 betting preview. Rod gets the name of the races wrong. We
Butchering
start out
the
with
English language again.
Why do you guys put up with that? All right, get out your pen and paper. Cody started you out with Carson Hocevar over Grant Henfinger at -110 on Superbook. I said Christian Eckes was going to finish better than Ty Majeski at -110, also on Superbook. Cody gave you Stuart Friesen over Nick Sanchez at -110 over on Superbook. I gave you Zane Smith over Corey Heim at -110 over on Superbook. Cody gave you Matt DiBenedetto over Chase Purdy at -120 on Caesars. I gave you Grant Enfinger as a top 3 car at +225. I'm gonna go ahead and make that my edge double down play of the day as well. And then Cody gave you Carson Hocevar as a top 5 truck at +110, and Hocevar to win trucks and Xfinity at 22-1 as a bonus bet. I gave you Matt DiBenedetto as a top 5 car at 5-1 on Caesars. Cody gave you Corey Heim as a top 3 car at +110. And then I gave you the winning car number over 24.5 at -115 on Caesars. Cody said that Corey Heim would win at +450, Carson Hocevar at 8-1, and Friesen at 12-1. I gave you Zane Smith at 4.5-1 to win this Rackley Roofing 200 at the Nashville Superspeedway in Lebanon, Tennessee.
Boom. Let's do it, Rod.
Boom. Let's do it. The no truer words have been spoken. I kind of set Cody up for failure there because I was like, and your turn.
Yeah, I wasn't totally prepared for that, but here we are.
All right. It is the last episode of the week for Cody, who
It
will
is.
be
Yes, going
on vacation, buddy.
On vacation. Oh, yes, I am. I'm pumped. Much needed break. This is about the only week that works in our extremely busy home life schedule. So glad we were able to get these in, though. I thank you to you for staying up late with me, grinding these out. Appreciate it. Glad we got all the picks shows in. Glad the odds dropped. We're kind of sweating this afternoon as we were waiting for Xfinity and trucks to come out. But yeah, tune in tomorrow for the Xfinity show. I don't like to miss a show, of course. I think I've only missed one so far. This will be my second one, unfortunately. But I am excited to hear, you and a guest. Don't know who that might be yet, but jump on and do the DFS show and listen to it from the listener's perspective. But I'll be happy to be back next week as well.
Yep. Cody's going to try to log in and all of his login information is going to be gone.
Oh, gosh. I hope not.
Password not found.
Replaced.
Username not found. Why can't I log into the system?
No, come back.
That's what happens when you take days off.
I know. That's why I try not to ever.
Just kidding. The seat will be there for you. I don't care who I get to fill in.
Man, we got to come back next week and talk about Chicago street race. Oh, buddy. That's
it's going to be fun.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's going to be. It's like breaking down a super speedway almost. That's going to be an insane race.
I'm literally just going to have like a spin wheel and we're just going to spin it. That's how we should probably do this.
Actually, DFS show. Maybe we'll bring my daughter on and have her draw lineups from the hat like I normally do.
That'd be beautiful.
That's pretty much how it's going to work.
I love it. All right, Cody. Well, let's get you on vacation, buddy. Why don't you let everybody know where they can find you on social media and not bug you while you're on vacation?
Follow me on Twitter at Husker_Zeeb. Follow the show as well at NASCAR Gambling. I'll still pop into the Discord, so jump in over there. Can't get away from you guys over there. So I'll that all weekend. Enjoy the race this weekend. Enjoy the DFS show tomorrow. Looking forward to that one. Let's go make some money.
Let's go make some money indeed. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. Link in the bio. Everything I got going on. Whether it's here, whether it's in between media, check out the back road. We will be on with Seth and Elliot to break down this Nashville race. And of course, check out my article for frequency's sake. Follow them on Twitter at FFSQ. Have some fun there. We'll see you guys. I'll see you again tomorrow for the DFS episode. Cody, we'll see you guys for Chicago and breaking down Nashville on Monday for the recap. So until then, everybody, Cody, enjoy your time off. We'll see you soon. And to all of you, let's go racing and let it ride.